Ladles and jelly spoons, welcome back to Badgerworks. Today, this. Sorry for the rather truncated view. There's a new 3D printer in this box, so yeah, let's get on with it. So yes, this box, which is enormous and apparently weighs 12 kilos, where is the container for our new 3D printer. Now we do have the old Anet A8, which has seen us done quite well, but it's definitely long in the tooth, and this hopefully will be a massive improvement. So in here is a Geeetech Mizar S, which I bought not quite on an impulse, but I watched a couple of reviews, and it seems, okay. But the reason I bought this is because most printers have a build plate capacity of 220 by 220 millimeters, which is, hang on, maths, that's about 8 3/4 inches square. This one is 250 millimeters, so it's nearly 10 inches square. And the reason, that was one of the main reasons I picked this one, and it's because there's something I want to print, which we'll get onto later, that is 235 millimeters long, and I don't want to print it vertically. So that's why I chose this. But we'll talk about it a bit more. But what I'm going to do now is try and get this out of the box. I will try and do it on camera, but we'll have to see if it works. So this will either go into some kind of time lapse, or you'll just cut to, all the bits being out on the bench. So anyway, let's see what we got. Oh, hang on, knock my tea over. That would be a tragedy, wouldn't it? Cheers. Oh, that's better. Right, I've also had to turn the fans off here in the workshop, and it is brutally hot in here. It's currently sitting at about nearly 40 degrees, which is, I think, it's close to 100 for those of you counting in old money. Anyway, so let's have a look. There are some instructions right here on. What's this? Geeetech, make it possible. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome. What's this? Dear valued customer. Wow. Thank you for choosing Geeetech products. Geeetech is committed to providing quality products and services to 3D printing enthusiasts. We are hoping to help more enthusiasts get an easy access to the wonderful world of 3D printing. Well, that's a laudable goal. During using your 3D printer, you can share your ideas and opinion with other Geeetech users in Geeetech. So they're trying to get me to join their Facebook group. Oh, this is how you contact their technical support through Facebook. Okay, well, why not? You might as well use it. Right, what have we got here? Tips. After opening the package, please check whether the hotbed and hot end are loose. If there's any looseness, please use the attached wrench to tighten them. Oh, okay. So yeah, this is actually quite useful. It's like, be careful not to pull the cables. Don't bend the filament. Yeah, so it's all pretty much basic stuff. This is very important. Check whether the power switch is in the correct voltage range, because this does do 115 or 230 volt. So if they've got any sense, it'll be switched to 115. So I'm going to have to check it. But yeah, if that's on 230 and you plug it in, a 110 volt socket, that's going to go bang. So yes, that's a good thing to take note of. And the user manual, it actually has a printed manual. Cool. Warm tips. Okay, anyway, stop laughing at the back. We'll come back to that. Right, let's see what's in here. It's a big bunch of packing. Right, let's get rid of this. Nice bit of foam, might keep that. Power plug, which is UK, which is nice. Put that to one side. Oh god. Oh, what is this? There's a bit of thing in there. Right, there's some tools in there as well. Right, we'll get to that in a minute. USB stick, some kind of sensor, and some screws. Okay. All right, fair enough. What's this? Oh, is that? Oh, I think that might be, oh, that's attached to the bit underneath. Oh, get out. Oh, just talk amongst yourselves for a minute. Ah, right, now we're getting somewhere. Now this is what's going to be fun, because I need to get this out. So this is the gantry and the bed is underneath it. So I need to get this out, then take this out, then take the bed out, and then put it all on the bench. So it'll be fine. Right, hang on, I'm gonna have to move this. I can't do this from here. Let me put this over here and see if I can do this without making a fool of myself and or hurting myself. Oh my God, that is heavy. It's only 12 kilos, but it feels like a lot more. Maybe I'm just getting old. Oh, there's the bench, look. Oh, right, you stay there. Stay. Don't, oh my God. Oh, woo. Oh God, I've jogged the camera. Right. Are you still there? Oh, right. You come out of there. Oh man, this thing has got some gravity to it. Right, oh God, how does... Well, as a wise man once said, help me understand this. How is that supposed to... Does this come out as two pieces? Is this a separate... Oh wait, hang on, I'm getting there. I think it comes out as two bits. Oh, right, you come out of there. Get out from underneath. Why are you under there? Oh. Oh, good grief. Right. Hang on, we're getting there. We're getting there. Oh, God. Don't pull the cables, they say. You can't even... Oh, right. That's that bit out. This is between the gantry and the bed. So, yeah, thanks for that. I mean, admittedly, it's well packed, but it's a bloody nuisance. Right, you come up here. Oh my God, this is heavy. Oh, I've got to try and get this on here without dropping everything or dropping the box on the floor. Ah, there we go. Right, let's put that there. Let's just pop that there for a stay. And let's get rid of this box, which we will just put over here for now. If you hear a big crash in the middle, in a minute, that's the box falling on the floor. What was I about that? Right, I think now would be a good time to reposition this camera. I'll be back in a second. Right, okay, so for my next trick, that must be what these big screws in here, these must be the ones that hold the gantry on. Right, where's the instructions? Packing list, check power supply. Oh yes, we need to do that. Components. Alright, so this tells you what's in it. Oh right, that's... Oh okay. Toolkit, where's the tool? It must be in there, hang on. Right, let's see what's in here and compare it to our packing list. That seems like a good idea. Right, filament holder is that, and oh this, oh that's all in more bags. Okay, right, we'll get to that in a second. A scraper, hopefully that's a blunt scraper. It is a blunt scraper. That's a good idea. If anyone can read Chinese characters, what are they? I'm assuming it's Chinese. It might say 2 inches because that's what it says on the other side. But yeah, if anyone can read that, do put it in the comments. Cable ties, USB cable, which we probably won't be using, some filament, which is useless. Not that there's anything wrong with the filament, it's just that we don't need it. Right, there's the toolkit it talks about. I always love these. This is what they used to call bed spanners, because these were like these cheap stamped spanners are what they used to give you when you bought the old like wrought iron beds, and they'd give you one of these to put it together. It's called a bed spanner. So hang on, my daughter's just turned up. What do you want? What do you want? Oh, okay. Bit of PTFE tube, which I'm assuming is to feed the filament or something. I don't know. It might just be a spare bit. There's already a bit on the printer, so it might be a spare bit. And what appears to be a mouse mat, which is interesting. Not sure we need a mouse mat, but thank you anyway. Thanks, Geeetech. There's never a spare mouse mat. Right, what have we got in here? Oh, see, now there's more screws in here. So, oh, now there's a thing here that says screw bag. Right, that goes. Oh, so that's the spool holder. There should be a big nut somewhere. There's the big nut. So that goes with that. And oh, 2 spare nozzles. It's always handy. Although to be fair, if these are standard nozzles, which I'm really hoping they are, I've got hundreds of these things. Couple of thumb screws, and then this is the Y-axis limit switch. Although why that's not actually already on it is a mystery, but we'll worry about that in a minute. I'm sure they have their reasons. Although, hang on. Have they given us 2 of them? What? Because there's more screws in. There's screws in this bag. There's screws in this bag. There's a little bit of PTFE tube in there for reasons. No, this is the switch that they're talking about. Well, I'm assuming it is because that's what. Oh, come here. But that looks very similar to that. Maybe they just give you a spare one. I think that's like a Hall effect sensor. So I think what happens, or it might be infrared. So when the indicator passes through it, it breaks the beam. So, but that is not screwed together. But I'm assuming that there's some screws here somewhere. They might be in here. See, there are a couple of small screws in there. They might be what hold this on. But we'll worry about that in a minute. And this must just be a spare. Might just be a spare one. Okay. Right, that's fine. So that's all good. Right. Whole machine inspection. Check whether the hot end and the bed are loose. Right. Let me have a quick read of this, and then we'll start checking over this thing. Plus the fact I want to drink my tea. Right. I've just stood the gantry up in place just to see if it all fits together. What I'm going to do is, I think the first thing I'll do is I'm going to bolt the gantry down, because this is all, you know, and I want to be able to move this around without this keep falling over. So I'm just going to skip ahead in the instructions a little bit to the attaching the thing. Right, which is assemble the machine. Okay, so yeah, see, this is weird. So it says here to attach the Y-axis limit switch, and it goes here. Oh my, you can't see that. Hang on. It goes. I'll show you in a minute. Let me put this the gantry on. So the M5 by 35, and there should be 4 of them according to the picture. Yes. Totally, 4 screws are required. Oh, bless. Anyway, we shouldn't mock, because I can tell you now, their English is a lot better than my Chinese. So, Nieman Hao to any Chinese viewers, by the way. That's almost the limit of my Chinese. Anyway, right, let's get these 4 things out. And they do give you Allen keys, but I'm going to go and get a... Oh, stay. Everything's rolling. Everything's... yes. So, let me go and grab a socket. That looks like 5 or 6 mil. And these bolts are horrible. I might see if I've got some better ones. But anyway, we'll worry about that in a minute. Yes, let me go and quickly get a socket. Right, so this is a bit better view. So yeah, this is where that axis, the y-axis limit switch goes. And it's like, well, why not just bolt it on? I don't understand that. Why you have to do it yourself. But anyway, whatever. It's not the end of the world. Worst things have happened at sea. So yeah, what we've got to do now is bolt this gantry down. So I'm going to see if I can flip this over onto its side without it all going cattywampus, as the saying goes. Right, let's move those over there. Now, here we go. I say this thing has got some gravity to it. Right, over you go. And come this way and go over. Oh! Yeah, you just got to be a little bit careful. Right. Now, let's just leave that like that for a second. Right, I'll just reposition the camera a bit. So you can see one of the holes there. The other one's obviously up above it. So these long screws go in there. There's no washers, which is yeah. I might have some 5mm washers somewhere. I'd quite like to put a washer on that. Let me just have a quick look and see if I can find a washer. Because I actually bought some black M5 nuts and washers the other day. I just can't remember where I put them. Give me a sec. Talk amongst yourselves. Right, you can go over there out of the way. Right, found some. They're not black, they're silver. But yeah, I knew I'd bought some M5 flat washers the other day. But I shall use these just to, it will make me feel better. Now, the other thing I'm going to do before I put this first one in is one of the reviews, one of the videos that I watched on this said, and to be fair, it might have been user error, I don't know, but they said that these big screws came loose, or they had trouble doing them up or something like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run one in and just see what they're going like. To be fair, they do look a bit crunchy, but I have got thread lock. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to, like I say, just test this out and see how well these screws go in. And then if we have any problems, then I might put a dab of thread lock on it. Well, I mean, I will put a dab of thread lock on it, but... Right, that is going in there quite easily, actually. Oh yeah, that's fine. Right, let's try another one. Yeah, that's going in all right. Okay, I'll just do these bottom two. You won't, unfortunately, won't be able to see it, but right, I've got to make sure this is in the right place. Hang on. I'll pull this to the edge a little bit so I can get into it better. That's it. That's why that won't go in, because it's in completely the wrong place. It's fine. And that one's gone in all right. So what I'm going to do now is I'll take them back out again. I'll do the bottom two first because you can't really see what I'm doing. So when I do the top two, I'll show you what I'm doing. Right, so the bottom ones are in. I'm just going to pop these top ones out again. I keep calling the top and the bottom ones, they're the sides more than anything, but it's more just to, you know, where they're oriented at the moment. So we'll just take this one out, And like I said, what I've got here is some thread lock. It's just cheap thread lock. Now I'm going to put a little bit of this on here. Come on. Just a dabble do you, as they say. And then we'll put this one in, and then once I've got this one in, I'll pop the other one out, thread lock that, and then I'll just do this one up finger tight, pop the other one back out. It's a good idea to do this, I think, if nothing other, no other reason, that it saves having to tip the machine up periodically to check that the bolts are tight. Come on, there we go. I say it doesn't need a lot because it's, I say this is holding a gantry on a 3D printer, it's not a U-bolt. It's not like we're going to be torquing this up to about, you know, 900 Newton meters or something. It's going to be, I mean, you could probably do it up finger tight, it'd be enough. Right, then we'll stick the old ratchet on there and just don't over tighten these. Actually, that's a very good point, because you're screwing steel. I don't know if it's a steel insert or whether it's going into aluminium, but they're only little bolts. You don't want to over tighten them. So, but anyway, that's that. So now we can stand this back up again. Now you can turn around like that, and we can look at the back of you. Right, so now, so this is the switch that they're talking about. So you can see it says on it quite clearly 230, 115, and oh, I don't know if I can show you that or not. Oh, good grief! Will you stay? This is very well balanced. Can you see that in there? It says 230 volts. So now obviously they're selling this, you know, to someone in the UK, so that actually makes perfect sense. But check it. Make sure you check it, because if you do that wrong, this power supply is going to go bang. So anyway, there you go. You've been told. Anyway, right. So what we need to do now is put this limit switch on and plug all these other bits in. So that goes in there for the stepper motor. It's like I say, the nice thing about this, it goes together very easy. It's like half a dozen bolts and a few plugs. And when I consider how long, in fact, I think I got a video on the A8 building it, and yeah, that was that was a thing. Right, where are the distractions? Come here. Which way round does this go? I'm fairly certain I know which way around it goes, but just to double check, yes, it does go around that way. So we want these two little bolts in here. Now we need an appropriate socket for those, which is 2.5mm, and I don't think we'll need the ratchet for this. We'll probably just get away with using the extension like a screwdriver. So make sure that's all together properly, which it is. That wire is right in the way. Right, we'll plug that in a minute. So let's just pop that on there. I'm not going to Loctite these in, there's no point. There's the... These are some long old screws for this. They could have been half this length. I mean, I'm not complaining, but it just seems a bit pointless. The engineer in me frowns upon the waste of thread. Right, that's that one. Let's just Snip this one up. That's fine. And now that goes in like that. Right. Slightly dubious about this, although I think that's is that as far forward as it goes? See, what I'm worried about here, if you look here, is that is basically rubbing on there. It's not the end of the world, but it's not ideal. I'll just bend that down a little bit out of the way. Right, let's flip this around. And let's plug in this stop switch here. And there is one on the other side as well. Oh, come out of there. You go in there. See, this is all very simple. I'm very impressed with this so far, how easily this this actually goes together. Like I say, I mean, the amount of time it took me to build that thing, and this is almost ready to go. Right, so what else do we need to do? Let's have a look at the instructions. Filament holder. Right, okay, so the next step, we need to put the filament holder on and plug in the tube for the feed. So this is quite cool actually, because this the way this fits into the extrusion on the top, and these are kind of like those, anyone who's ever done anything military or even airsoft or anything, you'll probably recognize these. These are basically like M-locks. So they basically, you pop them in, and then when you tighten them up, you see these things can turn, but when you line them up straight like that, you put them in, as you tighten the screw, this will twist and lock into place, and then it holds inside the channel, and it can't rotate. This, oh blimey, you've done them up well, haven't you? That's it. Right, let's stick this on the top. Right, does it matter which way around that goes? It goes to the back, okay. Right, so that goes, that doesn't make sense. All right, not really a big issue, but I thought this is going the wrong way around, because I wanted to see which way round this goes in. And in the book here, it says that the nut goes inside the channel, so it goes like this. But if you look at the bottom here, the side with the channel, if you compare it to this one, you can see it's backwards, because for this to be in the same orientation as that one, the channel goes the other way around. So we're just going to have to double check if this is actually going to work. I mean, I'm sure it will, but because that needs to go like that, so that needs to go like that, and then this, does it matter which way around that goes? Ah, there we go. Right, just hoping that's going to be big enough to actually put a spool on it. Have I got a spool handy? We'll worry about that in a minute. Right, let's pop this in the top here. So like I say, you just drop that in, and then when you do up the Allen bolts, which is really awkward from this angle, the M-locks twist into place and grip, you see. I don't know if these are actually M-locks or not, but they basically work the same way. Right, that's that. Now, let's just slide that over there. And this needs to go, is that not a bit long? Well, we'll see. So that goes in there like that. Oh no, I think it'll be alright. Although it is touching there when it's at, Not overly keen on that. I wonder if I can turn that a little bit. Never mind. Right. Okay, right, never mind. I think that's all going to be all right. So, I'm just going to do a quick spanner check on it, and then we will move on from there. Right, so I've done a quick spanner check on it. Everything seems to be tight. Everything moves as it should. That's a little bit crunchy, but I think that's just the stepper motor. But we'll worry about that in a minute. This moves nice and free. So the next step in the book is turn the thing on. So that's what we're going to do. So I don't know if you can see the camera. I've got the camera way up high so you can actually see the whole thing. But let us see what happens when I turn this on. Oh, it beeped. That's good. Screen's lit up. Right. That's what it's supposed to do, apparently. Okay. Now, it's got all of the different instructions here for all the stuff that you can do, but I think what we're going to do first is I'm going to hit home and just make sure everything moves as it should. So if we go into tools and home, my God, that's quiet. That is, wow. I'm going to put the mic next to it. So here's the mic. Hear how quiet that is. It's almost silent. Wow. I mean, that was one of the things that people had said that these things are quiet, but that is, well, that is actually very impressive how quiet that is. Blimey. Okay, anyway. So that's fine. Now, the thing that we really need to do is level the thing. But I just want to see what this does. Right, okay. So that's fine. Oh, it's come back up again. Oh, that's right. So leveling. That's the thing we've got to do next. Let me get the camera in a little bit closer and we'll have a look at this, because this is, like I say, this has got automatic bed leveling, which is supposed to be the be all and end all, but we'll see. Let me get the camera in closer. Right, so bed leveling, auto leveling. So I've got the manual open to the right page. So please use tweezers or other tools to clean the nozzle. Yeah, that's fine. No residual filament. There's not even any filament in it. Click Tool Auto Leveling to do the automatic leveling. Please use the tool, basically the spanner, to complete the calibration of the leveling sensor. What? Oh, yeah. So what you've got to do, it's kind of weird, but what you've got to do is push the nozzle up, the actual hot end up into the thing, because that's how it levels. It basically uses that as the touch sensor. So you've got to kind of tell it that. So right, let's do that. I'm going to take this off of here. Oh, I was hoping you'd be able to see that a bit better, but you can't. I might even put that back on just to save the screen from too much. Right, okay, so let's start from the beginning. So we go back, we go tools, and we go auto level. Right. Do the following, leveling. Use the tool to gently push the nozzle. Right, so that's what it says on there, which is always handy, because we know where, and we might as well do it with the prescribed tool. Oh dear. When in doubt, use a bed spanner. I mean, I assume you could do this with anything. Oh, come on out of there. I'm assuming you could probably do this with anything, but... okay, so I need to push that. Use the tool to gently push upward from the bottom of the nozzle to complete... Hang on, what does that say? Oh, calibration failed. I think I took too long. Right, cancel. Leveling. Push the thing. Oh, okay. You have to push it quite hard. You do have to push it quite hard. Oh, that's interesting. It's heating up. Which makes sense. Because obviously when it heats up, everything's going to expand. So... now this is interesting because even in the book here, you'll see it says there are 9 zones that it touches on, but on here there are 16. So this must be a firmware update that it's added more points. That has heated up really quick as well. That's up to 130 degrees already. I think you can actually probably see that a bit better with my hand over it, because I've got the lights on above. So that is very cool. Right, we'll let that heat up and then we'll see what it does. Right, 58. 59. Oh, there we go. Oh, hello. That was weird. What was that all about? Don't know what that was, but seems to be all right now. Right, so this is where it's going to come down and touch. Let me see if I can get the camera in so you can see what it's doing. Hang on. And what it's doing, as it does each one, the little square on the screen turns green. So that's number 3. Oh, it's having a good think about number 3. Right, 3's all right. It does say that if the test fails at a certain point, the printer will repeat the test several times. So right, well, we'll let it do its thing and we'll come back when it's done. Hopefully it will complete first time, we'll see. My daughter's just turned up. Hello, Katie.
Hello,
You've come just at the right time. It's just completing the auto bed leveling. Do excuse the stuff, but I had to get rid of the box out of the way because I was basically, this comes with that bit and this bit separate, but they're held together with a big wire. So I had to get it all out of the box and move the box and everything else in, which was fun.
Oh, and just to let you know, my computer, it's been trying to sell me printers all the week.
It's trying to what?
Sell me printers. Keep showing me adverts for blooming printers.
Good, that's fantastic. Anyway, so this is done. It's finished. That didn't take very long. Let me just shoosh the camera about. So hopefully, oh god, I've got to be careful not to touch the bed. It's red hot. But you can see they've all turned green. Oh, there you go, and it's gone. So what we've got to do now is set the Z offset. So it's basically we have to tell it how high above the bed we want the first layer to be. So I need a piece of paper. There's a piece of paper, that'll do.
I'm going to say good luck.
Right, that's got some measurements on it for something I'm actually going to be printing on this. So let's see if we can slide that under there, and we can. It actually doesn't look far off. Right, let's drop that down a touch.
Is it done yet?
Do you know what? I think that's pretty much spot on where it was. Let's just see. I think that should be about right there. I'm gonna go up one because just to be on the safe side, because I can always adjust it while it's going. Do you know what? That was the funny thing with the Anet. I got to the point where I could actually level that bed while it was printing. I didn't even need to look at it. Yes, right, then click the confirm icon. It doesn't have a confirm icon, it has a save icon. Save. Save successful.
Wow.
Okay. Right, back.
You reading the instructions?
Yes, because I don't want to break it.
God, what's wrong with you? You're not supposed to read the instructions. You're supposed to throw them in the bin when you start.
Right, now we're going to load the filament. Now the problem that we have, not really a problem, but...
Is that we don't have any filament?
No, we do. I've got more filament I know what to do with.
Oh.
The problem is, the filament I use is PLA+, which generally runs at, I usually run it at about 210 degrees. I have a sneaking
It's a lot warmer than that in here.
It feels like it, doesn't it? It's about 40 degrees in here at the moment, which is about 100 for old money. But they do give you this little bit of filament, so I'm going to use this.
Oh, it's yellow.
It is yellow.
That's dangerous.
What?
Cutting stuff with a knife like that. You could injure yourself.
I could, but I didn't. Now,
You could.
we've got to make sure this is not all tangled up.
It looks like from the spaghetti.
Well, yeah.
You're
Right.
printing with spaghetti.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm doing, child. I'm printing with spaghetti. So let's pop this on the holder,
Which is all the way up there.
which is all the way up there. Now, click Tool Change. Right, back. Change. And we want Load. Oh, well, this time the nozzle will heat up, which it has.
I see.
Which is interesting because it says it will automatically heat the nozzle to 200 degrees. And yet this is holding at 130. But okay, let's try it. Let's hit load. Oh, now it's heating up. Right, okay. After heating the nozzle, the system will remind you to put the filament into the feed port of the extruder.
What?
Right. So let's make sure that's nice and straight. In fact, while that's heating up, let's just lift this camera up a bit. Right, I think I just actually managed to turn the camera off for a second there, but it doesn't matter. It's still heating up. So it's at 196. What did you say? What am I printing?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to print. There are supposed to be test prints on this memory card, so I'll just print one of those first of all, and we'll see what happens. Heat completed. Load filament to extruder. Click confirm to start loading. Right. Okay. So now this gadget here that I'm just putting the filament through now, that is a run out detector. So that will basically tell you if the if there's a problem. Right, now I need to pop that open. Oh. Oh. Get in there. Right. Do I need to thread that all the way through?
Yes. No.
When you load the nozzle...
I don't know. What is
Oh, I see. You just push it through manually.
See? No, right.
Oh, I can see it going through the tube.
Okay.
Right, and then we push... Right, is there anything coming out the bottom there?
Yes, there is. Some little stringy things.
That's fine, because that means it's done. Confirm.
There they go. There they go. There it's going. It's going. It's going.
Oh, see, this is the... Oh, I don't think you do actually need to push it all the way through.
It's going.
I think you only actually have to push it, put it into there, and then it threads it through on its own, but that's all right. That's fine. That is very yellow filament. Now, the thing that's interesting is it says to put the SD card in. It just says put in the SD card. It's like, well, do you not have to turn it off first?
No, of course not.
Apparently not.
So now we're just making little plastic noodles.
Yes. See, what we're doing is we're taking the big roll of filament up there and making a little roll of filament down here.
I see. And then we can use that one. Make an even smaller roll of filament.
I'm pretty sure I could probably hit cancel at this point, because I think we can safely say that's loaded.
Yeah, I think so.
But it's actually quite good to do, because you can also check whether the drive is actually working properly.
There it goes.
So
yeah, I think it's loaded.
I think that's loaded. Let's hit cancel, because I think we're loaded. Right, so let's go back. Let's get rid of this off of here.
Can I have it?
Oh, just mind it's not hot.
Thank you.
Right, so I'm going to do what it says. I'm going to put the SD card in. Right, so put it in face up, it says. So we'll put the SD card in. Right, that's in. Right. So if we go back and go printing, there are 3 things on here.
Oh, press all of them at once.
You can't press all of them at once. Now,
what are they?
Now, actually, hang on.
Let me see. Let me see. Let me see.
So, let's just... I don't know whether you're going to be able to see this, but... so it says... Oh, God. It says at the top there, levelling yes, which means the bed is levelled. Now, the one I'm going to do, because you've got 2, whatever 2 is, and then you've got... Hang on. You've got rocket plane 2, whatever that is, and then owl. I'm assuming that's owl facing left, but I'm going to do rocket because there's not a lot of filament there. So we're going to do that. Rocket plane, 1 hour 14 minutes. Print this model, confirm. And it's now telling you. Shush you.
God. Owlist.
So it is printing. It is running up to 200 degrees. So it might actually work with PLA plus. But we'll worry about that when the time comes. Because I say, when I actually create G-code for this, I will run it at 210 degrees. Or I might try it at 200 first and see how it goes, but I think I'll probably go for 210. Because we can actually modify the settings of this as we're going if we need to. See, now it's...
Is it still making spaghetti?
Yeah, well it will do, because it's... So that should start any second. And what we've got to be careful of...
Is the spaghetti?
Oh, come out of there.
Grab it, grab it.
Come on, get up to 200. $199. Come on, 260. Why isn't it starting? There it goes. Hang on, it's thinking about it. There it goes.
Oh, it's going, it's going.
Now, what we've got to be careful of is that the first layer comes out all right. Let me adjust the camera again. And we have got a little stringy bit there, which is annoying, but I'm not going to worry about that.
What's it printing?
It's printing a rocket.
Wait, what?
What?
How?
Right, that doesn't look terrible, that first layer.
Not a yellow submarine?
No, not a yellow submarine. This thing is so quiet. You know how loud the other one is? You remember how loud that one is? I don't know if you've really got it running. It sounds like it's about to take off.
My computer.
Yeah, I know, but your computer's got... that needs those fans. But seriously, the fan on this, the hot end fan is louder than all of the stepper motors combined. Right. Do you know, I actually think that nozzle could do with going down a touch.
Put it down a touch then.
I might just change that. Baby steps.
Oh, baby steps.
Right, let's take the Z down.
What is it? What? I don't understand. How is it printing the rocket though? Is it gonna like... Well, that's a little just gonna sit and watch it.
Well, this is one of the joys of 3D printing.
Why isn't it faster?
Because I didn't want speed, I wanted size. I wanted a big build plate. If I wanted a fast printer, I could. There is one you can get that is stupidly fast, but it's also incredibly noisy.
So what's that bit then?
What?
Oh, it's lifting up, it's lifting up! Oh no, it's not, it's not.
Well, it is going up, but it's going up in steps of like 0.1 millimetre.
I thought the little bottom was lifting up the thing.
Oh no, it's because it seems to be working alright so far.
Ah, there's a pigeon.
Yeah, I know. They thump around on that roof like nobody's business. Run around like they own the place. Right. Let's go back.
Very triangular rocket.
Back. Well, I have to say, so far, I am very, very impressed with this machine. It's been really, really easy to set up, like stupidly easy to set up. I mean, that other printer, that took me 2 days to build that. This has taken me about an hour, and that included all the faff moving cameras around and all that kind of stuff. And from taking it out of the box to printing. Yeah. Anyway, but of course the proof of the pudding is in the print. If that makes sense. So we will let this go, and we'll come back.
In the pudding.
Yes, exactly. We'll print a pudding. How about that?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll let this go, and we'll come back when it's done, and we'll see what happens. Right.
It explodes.
Well, let's hope not. Anyway, we're going. Well, I'm going in for my dinner. I don't know what you're doing. What are you doing?
I don't know.
Okay. Right, I'm going to go have my dinner and see what this thing comes out like. That is looking pretty sweet so far, though.
It's like a lemon.
I am quietly optimistic. Right, back in a bit, guys. Right, well that's done. Right, let's have a look at this. So if we go into tools, unlock the stepper motor, and we should be able to unlock. Well, I have to say at first glance that looks pretty good. Now how easy is this going to come off? Of course we can. Okay, right. Let's just hook this bit off. Well, that all came off very easily, and there's not a mark on the build plate, which is nice. Oh, yeah, it would be nice if this thing had some kind of guides on it to. But it's not the end of the world. Now, the bottom layer has come detached, but like I said, it was when I first started printing. I think I needed, if you remember, when I was setting the offset, I raised it up 0.5 of a mil, and I think I should have left it where it was, because I ended up actually during the print dropping it back down again. In fact, actually, before I do that, I think I've just realised something here. I think this is actually meant to come off. Because this is, yeah, I think that's actually meant to come off. Oh, yeah, because I think that's meant to be like that, or not, I don't know. But aside from that, it's there's a couple of little bits here and there. I don't know if you can see there. There's a little like ridge, but again nothing serious. And round the top here, there's a little ridge there. But aside from that, considering that's the first print straight out of the box, that is absolutely amazing. Right, so the second one is finished. This was using the PLA plus, PLA plus I should say. Now this one looks a bit weird, but that is because I was kind of messing about with it, with the settings as it was printing. Because I wanted to see if I could get it to print a bit faster. So what I did originally, and this there's a kind of a story that runs through this. So down here, I started bumping up the speed, and I actually ran it up to 300% of the speed the original one printed at. Then I had to increase the flow rate of the filament to match, and I overdid it, and you can see here where it's kind of oozed out. I set it to 300% speed, and I set it to 300% extrusion, and that was way too much, so I dropped it down to 150, and then it was fine until it got up to here, and then it really didn't like this overhang, which is not much of an overhang, but it didn't like it at all. So at that point I basically reduced the speed to 200%, and I reduced the extrusion to 120%, and it printed the rest of it perfectly. So it ended up, you can see here on the back again, it's like it doesn't like the overhangs. But the other thing is, because I bumped up the extrusion a bit, this one is actually a bit more solid, because this one, if I squeeze it, oh, it does that, but this one is much more solid. So yeah, this is very, very thin. As you can see, that's just broke. Literally, I just squeezed it and it snapped. So, which is great, but it's not the end of the world. I say it's only a test piece. Whereas this one is way more solid. I think you can actually see, well, kind of see at the back here. I mean, it's like this one. If I do that, you can see it only moves a bit. This one just completely collapses. So yeah, but it has proved the point. I think the other problem with this one is the filament that I used. To be fair, it's not great. It's a good filament. It's I use eSun filament, but this roll has been on my old printer and just sat out for months, and you can actually feel it's slightly tacky, which is not ideal. I think it's a bit damp, to be honest, but even so, it's printed very, very well. So, you know, it is what it is. But I think, to summarize this, from the little bit I've done with this, I am very, very pleased with this printer. This is not a sponsored video or anything, by the way. I should have said that at the beginning. This is not like Geeetech didn't give me this printer. I bought this with my own money, and so if I thought it was rubbish, I would tell you. But I am genuinely very impressed with this so far. I mean, obviously time will tell, yeah, I would say, I mean, obviously printing has come on leaps and bounds since I bought that old Anet printer ages ago, and that was a really cheap one anyway. This is still, moderately priced. It's not stupidly expensive. I think it was 300 and something pounds. I got it from Amazon. I'll put a link in the thing if you want to get one of your own. And I would, if you've been thinking about trying out 3D printing, but you've been a bit nervous about, taking the plunge, as it were, I would honestly say this is a good choice. I mean, obviously I can't really compare it to anything else because this is only the second filament printer I've ever bought. But it's been, so far, I mean, it's like, it took me maybe an hour to set it up, but that included all the filming and everything, moving the cameras around and all the rest of it. I would say that anybody with a modicum of common sense, which is hopefully most of you, if not all of you, you could have this thing out of the box, up and running and printing in half an hour. It's literally 6 bolts and plugging in the filament tube. That's it. That's all you need to do, is just, and everything is idiot proof. You really can't do this wrong. So yeah, it's so far, touch wood, this has been absolutely perfect. And also with the bigger build plate, it will do exactly what I want. It's not the fastest printer in the world, but I'm not interested in speed. I want quality and I want reliability. Those are the two things that I want, and ease of use. And so far this thing has been absolutely idiot proof. So yeah, I would heartily recommend this, and if anyone from Geeetech is watching, good job. Although the only thing I'm kind of confused about is why you have to fit the Y-axis limiting switch yourself, because it's like all of the other limiting switches are fitted already and just not that one. But whatever, it doesn't matter. It's fine. that's a minor thing. So like I say, it's 2 screws, that's it. But yeah, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. This printer will be getting a lot more use than the other one did, because as I say, it's nothing else, it's more reliable. Katie's already got me a bunch of stuff she wants me to print, so you'll be seeing bits and pieces with that coming up. But in the meantime, I think we can pretty well wrap this up. So yes, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. I'd like to obviously thank my top tier patrons, Howard and Amy, for their continued support, and indeed the support of all of my patrons, much appreciated. And if you fancy joining us on Patreon, you're obviously more than welcome. And as ever, you're more than welcome to come and join us in the staff canteen on Facebook. But yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed this little foray into a new printer, and you'll be seeing maybe not a lot of the printer itself, but you'll be seeing a lot of the things that have, you know, come off of it in the coming weeks and months and however. So thanks very much for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Cheers. Bye.